Greetings, 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 greetings. It's been it ain't even been a while. It's just, how you doing? How are you? Uh, Let me first start this. I'm starting doing, integrating or bringing other things in now that are into this video. Just want to send you all love and breathe. First by saying left hand. Again, this is called a mudra. That's Mudra. You can look it up. And this is about, integrating new things that, again, we're learning spiritually, energetically. But this one specifically is left hand over right hand. And then my hands will be positioned this way. And so I'm going to start this video off by placing it. You can either place it maybe 2 or 3 inches away from your chest or on your chest, however you feel. But I feel like away from the chest is better. And we're going to breathe and say this. I listen openly and honor the voice in my heart. I listen openly and honor the voice of my heart. I listen openly and honor the voice in my heart. Ashe. So, I just want to start beginning videos like that to set divine intentions. Those of you that will be divinely guided to this video, sending you love, light, clarity, and awareness in this moment. You are a soul having a human experience. So first thing we come into this world, into this reality, to this physical realm, we breathe. So no matter what you're doing, take a moment and breathe. So, okay. It's just so many things that have been unfolding divinely. So I'm here to remember or here to remind you of, give you more, how could I say, shine light on what's been happening or what you feel maybe internally, which is happening, and externally is unfolding. For those that do not know or aren't aware, we have transitioned or entered into what we know as, well, from the Piscean age, which is, I have notes, the age of beliefs, belief systems, like I believe per se. And now, 2013, we entered the what we know now as the Aquarian age. That is the I know. And see, now what's happening is that we are returning in the sense of to that spiritual aspect. So coming from, these, it's so much, like, let me go into my notes because this is a lot of things what Spirit has been revealing to me and showing me. And so it's like that of which a whole new, what we knew, like the belief systems that have, subconsciously have been programmed. We have to realize things that have been programmed in the subconscious. Pisces rules over, the dream state, the subconscious waters, things of that such spiritually. So these things relate to all subconscious fears, all things that, false beliefs. So those now that are upon their, what we know, see it as spiritual awareness, spiritual awakening, or coming to this knowingness now of what the soul is and a part of this human experience. So the beautiful thing about all of this, because it's so much to share, but again, it's like, as we're sharing this and so many energies and so many things are happening, so many things we're, coming into and out of in a way, or it's more of a sense of like a metamorphosis in a way of like a cocoon, a butterfly, from a caterpillar to a butterfly. And so we're coming and releasing so many things out of, I guess, the word mundane, or just all these false illusions, false narratives, and false beliefs. So, man, this, oh my goodness, it's so deep to where, oh my goodness, it's like, where do I start? um, the purpose. I'm speaking for myself, but I know that you know may this resonate with you all. It's not to convince you of anything. Um, those that again, that are on this journey, the importance of all of this is we are, again, the physical and spiritual are hand in hand, as in like the dark and light. And so that being said, is that we entering into the Aquarian age, we look at the Aquarius being the water barrier. See, the water is in the sense of, again, we're birthed in the waters. Water is a form of transformation. I mean, yeah, transformation, cleansing. And see, that's a part of the old cleansing, the old programming, the false beliefs of what the value system, being focused more, seeing value in like certain signs, like seeing more value materialistically rather than the value. This Aquarian age is showing us the knowingness of the value within self, the inner guidance, the intuition, the inner worlds, the inner knowing of knowing I'm secure within myself first here before anything externally can be secured. And see, this is what has happened, you know, throughout lifetimes and throughout this very moment. It's almost like coming out of that darkness into the light now to, we're like, wow, all of these things I've learned and they were false, and I believe this and it was never true. What's really going on? And see, that's a lot what really shakes people up to the core of who you are. In the core of who you are, the light aspect of who you are in that darkness is that soul. And see, what's happening is that we have to see um, how to disconnect from source or mama universe, or universal source. That connection has been, can you say, just that disconnection again from self, meaning self from source, or connection to the higher, to the most high source. And so that being said, see, the spiritual aspect comes in to remind us of that. And see, once we come into that knowing the importance of all of this that's happening, what we're seeing so much being shaken up in the world is that the powers that has been, that no longer are, have abused their power in a sense. And it's in a way of where we see it integrated into the world, how certain people again have been put in the sense of like at the bottom, or treated this way, or from cultures and different creeds or certain things around the world. And see, that's the importance of all of which, the disconnect to mama source. Like source, again, we're talking about everything coming from the divine feminine aspect, or the matriarchal, or the matriarchal, as a sister once said or shared with me. And see, again, this is the what has, again, the magic of mama universe in a sense, or source. That which was in the dark now comes to the light. See, this is where the connection between we have the mama, or the universe. We know mama take care of all of our needs. the mother always go beyond and above, beyond what we know we can do. And see, the father in an aspect, since we're talking about, energies, is that of like logic, more reasoning, and also knowing. It's like the light aspect. And so what has happened is like it's so many things now to where we're seeing how spirit is stepping in, or when all these things have happened from the Piscean age now to Aquarian age. You see again the age of the water barrier. We know it as pouring, or and I see it as a sense of pouring information or spirit. These things returning to those again that we have that connection to source, which are very few. See, this is a beautiful moment to celebrate, because it's like mama has stepped in now. You know how certain things you grow up like, oh, I can do this, and how some people like, oh, dad said I can do this, and then your dad be like, go ask your mama. Because throughout all of this, and I had to learn this, and see, that's a part of the surrendering and trust, is that look at how you have the father aspect. I said before, like the logic, the reasoning, certain things like the knowing, but it's in the sense of mama is that of how she embraces us no matter what, or having, that faith that everything is going to work out, or that trusting in how everything is going to unfold beautifully. You see, this goes into the fact that, again, we're talking about spiritually now what's happening in the world, globally around the world. And see, these are energies, and this is the beauty of all of this at play, is that it's the unveiling of the divine feminine, or the mama, the great mother. Because the Piscean age was that of like, the father spirit in a way. But now, again, the unknowing, which we know as, is now that of the spiritual. It's like now we have to embrace the aspect of who we are, embrace the magic of who we are, the beauty, the unseen, having faith in the unknown, and trusting that when mama steps in, everything is always going to be all right. And see, that's the balance of the energies that's at play. And so now what has happened is that we have seen that, again, Spirit has said that the last shall be first, meaning that now the tail shall become the head. That's why I share with everyone, like, you see those that have been in last now, due to the abuse of power, and we're talking about universal forces here. We're talking about, things that are happening in the ethers or the cosmos, due to the abuse of power, or some may call, which were given. Again, it may seem crazy to some, but which were given. It's like people that have been given these gifts, or given whatever it is, and they've abused. That's why we speak of the powers that has been. Now we are the powers that be. You see, this is the beauty of all of this. People have abused their power, or what was given to them. Now everything, it seems like that was spiraling. Everything happens. Everything happens in energy. So things that happen this way, energy has a way of countering that. So that's why the tail shall become the head. All these things that have happened, as now it's like been flipped upside down. And see, this is the becoming and the building and the newness of the Aquarian age. The Aquarian, Aquarius is, the service, the humanitarian. And one thing about the Most High, the source, is that the ways of a shaman, is that we, those that are familiar with indigenous, people, and if you have a grandfather or whomever it is, or whether it doesn't mean it's just an energy, those that practice, shamanism or shaman, however you want to pronounce it, is that the source or the guidance of what a shaman is that to give selflessly. And see, so much has been happening to where it's the programming of man of, let me just take, you know the value of, again, not honoring the value within self, knowing that I'm secure within myself, balancing those energies of knowing I'm secure within myself. And see, the world has been away from all of that. See, that's when mama steps in, spirit steps in the sense of balancing these things, knowing, again, embracing, having faith and trusting. See, that's a knowingness, that's a security within inside, which is also connected to, though, we may know it as a root chakra, the foundation of everything. And so now there's that's what has been restored upon the earth, and is happening in very few. And so that of the old has to be cleansed and dismantled and removed because of the abuse of power. And see, the thing about what the shaman teaches or shares is that Mama Universe is a giver. Source is a giver. We were given this body for this experience. That's why we are receptive and given these things to share, because we are givers. We're giving certain things to share, to give selflessly. But the abuse of power the power that has been, that no longer is that of being selfish, hoarding things, not knowing the value of self in connection to source. And you're seeing this play out again globally, in the countries, in the world, not giving Mother Nature the nurture, the nurturing and love that she's, or sister shared with me, daughter Earth. And I'll get more into depth about that. But it's in a sense of not nurturing, what some may call Gaia, or, not nurturing that aspect. And see, that spirit steps in is that we begin to nurture ourselves, because then we see our connection with spirit and then source. And so the beauty of all of this is to say that the returning of that, of the beauty of what's coming here, is something to celebrate, because we see the awareness now of what really is happening. There is no going back once spirit has revealed these things to you. There is no such thing as unknowing something. We were giving these things. And then see, this is the place of like our ancestors. We are here to fulfill this lifetime. We are here to fulfill our ancestors' everything. In a sense, we are here to fulfill their purpose. This is why in spirit, sister was sharing me like Father Spirit, and then you have Mama Universe, in a sense of like the soul connection. 3 levels. You have the universe, Mama Universe, the soul level. Then you have the Father, the Spirit, and then you have the physical. And see, now this is the connection again, that the knowledge is being given to us. Certain gifts are being restored within us, that again, what has been or what was in the past that ancestors didn't fulfill, now those that are, what some may call chosen or enlightened or aware of, now is being given. And see, this is the beauty of it all, because it's like when Spirit actually gave me, I saw a vision of like someone at a table, and there was all these people at this table, and there was a sister at a table, and all these people got up and left. Like everybody left her, just walked away. And I was at this table, and this table was surrounded with other people. And then this sister that got up when everybody left her, she came and joined the table. It's almost like, that saying that, well, like everything had to happen for purpose. Everything was aligned this way. And so when the sister left and came to the table, it's like everything now is aligned to where, again, we are here to give and be of service. We are here to be givers. And see, this is a part of unlearning what we and the false beliefs and all those subconscious, releasing and letting go of all those subconscious fears. And see, this is what a part of the dark night of the soul, or this spiritual experience is all about. Had we not experienced what we've experienced as mothers, fathers, or whatever title you want to give it, or even childhood, this is why I see why the people got up from the table and the sister had to come to the knowingness of who she is, or brothers or whomever we are, balancing these things within ourselves, the energies, and coming to that knowingness, knowing our worth, knowing that I am divinely guided and protected no matter where I go. And see, that part of mama stepping in, or that divine feminine aspects, balancing the masculine and feminine, is that of which that when that happens within us, we have that direct connection to source, to mama universe, to father spirit, and then to the physical. And see, when all of which is aligned, then we're able to bring forth anew, to bring forth balance. We're able to individually fulfill our ancestors and realize that individually we are here to fulfill certain things, and then collectively it all plays out in we all play our roles in this. And so the beauty of seeing that vision of sister getting up and those people leaving, again, it's just like when you're going through something, had certain things not happen where you had to remove yourself, or spirit remove these people from these tables, or certain things being revealed, how would you have known what it is to learn to balance within self? This is what we're talking about, what, again, holistically, or being whole, knowing what it is to be whole within ourselves. In the past where people were in the dark, not realizing you cannot be half of anything, in a sense of, this is my other half, and this is, this person. And see, that's the beauty of now we're coming into knowing that, okay, physically and then spiritually, yin and yang, which happens within, knowing that I am whole within. This is why you're seeing the dismantling of the government, the marriages, and all those false beliefs, and all those fears around survival, all these things rooted in fear. And so now when we're here knowing why you have been ordained, or know why you have been chosen. So, and see, this is the beauty of what it is that you're learning about self. Through self, knowingness of self, your connection to, interconnected to all, your connection with the one. And see, so much of what I self-reflect on when I was younger is that I was always a giver. But then I start to realize, going back to the shaman, is the shaman knows that, that connection to the Most High Source is that we're giving we're giving these gifts, and as we're giving these things, I took note of this. It's like the world has taught us to accumulate so much of the material so that others can see us in this, you know, envious way or jealous way, or, you know, all these things that are really superficial. You know, all these things that bring attention for praise, to be idolized, when, again, any and everyone that has received anything was given from the Most High source. And see, we had to see this through this lens. Again, the world has been this confusion, or this veil. I mean, this wool has been pulled over their eyes, because man has fooled all. But you cannot fool everyone. It's fooled some. And so this is why, when the love and the value of self is knowing that the love is has always been within, then we start to see how certain attributes of the sign, or, you know, zodiacs, or certain things have been misused. Like, you know, this being a representation of material things, or certain things, or even the how people describe prosperity and wealth and abundance. That's within you. That's been within your DNA. Spiritual abundance is just as much as physical. But how do you see that abundance? And what, just because what someone accumulates, all of that is superficial. Because again, it is giving. The universe, Mama Universe she gives. We're giving things to share. This is why we're being brought back to this reality and going through this awareness now, to see that, again, we're giving these things. And we're now giving from a place of being selflessly, you know, from a place of joy. Universe, and I was writing these notes as I was learning, you know, things were coming and study. It's like, universe, you have the woman has the womb, or in a sense of the woman being a man with the womb, or womb man. So the man, again, the universe gives the man, you know, the light, or the staff, we know, and then the woman has the womb. So we're giving certain things to see the awareness of the regeneration of life, or what the cycle of life is. We're giving. We only get to give. I always share with people, I'm like, there's no U-Haul behind the hearse. And see, this is those subconscious, what's been programmed subconsciously from our childhood. And when I mean subconsciously, it's like those things that are in the dark, that's being purged and brought to the light now. Globally, universally, in this realm, in this what we know as physical. And then now we're seeing it being played out in our lives, only to mirror back to us, to value, to bring balance within ourselves. That knowingness, that's when we learn to balance and then become whole within self. Then when we become whole within self, we become one and interconnected to source. We're realizing that spiritual connect us all. Being grateful that I am a part of this sacred tree of life, knowing that I am a branch that's a part of this sacred tree of life. And so then when I bring forth life into this world, you know, co-create with someone, then you see the fruit that I produce by my actions. And see, this is the thing about the awareness. If you see how those that have abused their power no longer can, because Mama has stepped in, the divine feminine aspect, in the way of the she represents like the magic or the universe of the world, like the darkness. And see, the sun, again, when we look at the moon and the sun, or when we look at the dark and the light, the sun brings to illuminate things. This is why some of us are here to see that knowingness and see that spiritual connection between the spirit and the physical, and then the ethers, to bring awareness to what's happening, to know now to focus on our individual journey, but to know that our individual journey is just as important as everything here collectively. So my message to you all, become a selflessly giver. See, the world has shown you otherwise, but truthfully, we are all here to give. We are all here to be of service. That's what the Aquarian age is all about, a humanitarian. So many things are going to happen in this world. And those that, again, have connection to source realize that even there's nothing to hoard here. That's a part of coming out of the illusion, seeing through the illusion. Your soul came here to do this. It's a part of who you are, what we know as your contract here, your purpose here. We are here now to fulfill our ancestors' purpose. Mama, everything has been tallied. Let me tell you that. Those that have been going through the struggle and pain, like I took note of this, it says that those that have been going through the struggle and pain, the elder was saying that all of those that have been going through the struggles and pains and, all those things of, that saying of there's no pain without gain. None of what you have experienced is in vain. It's like all those things leading up to that dark moment now has been counteracted, will be countered. And see, this is universally. And that's where the last shall be first. Or those that have been in, that lower place it seems, or going through all these things, now they will become the head. Spirit was showing me visions. I saw a man that was laying on a couch in the street, and I saw these kids dancing in the street. But the man that was sitting on the couch obviously was laying there and lived on there. But then I saw him get up, and I saw him knock on this window, like looking for someone. And these people were just peeking out, looking like, who is this? And what happened is that people looked like they were moving out, like they had all their stuff moving out. And then when he entered the house, he just got on a recliner and just sat back and just relaxed. And he just sat there and watched everything. He had all the cars, all the things basically that was, it's not a sense of what he wanted to obtain, but it's like everything was flipped upside down to those that, again, have abused their power and not realize the importance of being of service to others. It's like the roles reversed. And I was just like, wow. And so I just here to remind you, like, keep your heart as light as a feather. And Spirit wants me to share this too. The purpose of also took note about, the shaman or shaman, is that one thing that, again, being a selfless giver is knowing that nothing here I own, nothing here is mine. And so giving selflessly is like not looking for anything in return. Because even the knowledge and the wisdom and certain things that I receive and obtain here is given to me. It doesn't belong to me. And so I want to share with you and let you know, it's like, what can you or what can I share or give to the people that will outlast my body, that will outlast the physical? I'm going to say that again. What can you give as a being, as a human being, or as who you are, whatever age you are, wherever you are right now? What can you give? Even if you got to take a moment, look within yourself. What can you give that and share, in a sense, or what can you give to others that will outlast your physical body? And that's in the sense of like your legacy. What can you give? And see, the importance I'm going to also share with this is that we're in this, how the stars are aligning, so many things. because I got so many notes, but I'm just keeping this to, just want to keep y'all empowered as I do with myself. Um, is that we're in this, um, what some may call the retrograde, or, this Venus retrograde and the Mercury, all these things. But let me show you something. The retrograde it's in a spiritual sense. Some may know it as, direct means, the sister was sharing, like, direct is physical. So when it retrogrades, it's in a spiritual sense of reevaluating, recollecting, or like, just revaluing, however you want to say, like, certain things about your own journey. That's why certain things about relationships or certain things come to our awareness, because it's the spiritual aspect where it seems like a planet is going backwards, but in a sense, it's preparing you to go direct in the physical. So the retrograde, being that we having it now, Venus, I feel like it's in Capricorn. Um, so that, in a sense, again, this is the valuing of relationships or certain things, but it's most importantly teaching you about self. Even relationships with others, it's again reflection of self. Self meaning source, connected to the most high source, from this, in the spiritual aspect, on this, connection to that. And so this is why so many things are happening right now. I just wanted to share that with y'all, because so many people get so caught up in that. But again, certain things, again, from just be very mindful. And this is why I feel like a lot of what these retrogrades and so many things that's happening in the cosmos is showing us to listen to your inner guidance. Know that you are the one. Know that you are here to fulfill your ancestors', purpose. You had to go through those experiences to now come into that knowingness of why it is that you want to live out that, that legacy. It's almost like you're giving this knowledge, you're giving whatever it is here to give to someone else. But the most important thing I want to share with you all, mothers, fathers, whomever you are, mothers to be, fathers to be, your lovers, whatever you are, which really means nothing to source in a way, whatever you're giving here, these moments like Capricorn and all these things and all these energies that play is truthfully about, again, legacy. What can you give? What can you give that will last beyond your physical body? Man, that's beautiful. And see, then you become more aware of who you are, what you're here to do, and that selfless, it becomes more selfless than more of just being for self. When we're all a part of this one body, one mind, or, this collective, and this oneness. And so it's a process. Trust it, embrace it. And because Mama has stepped in, it's not so much of what, just surrender to the magic right now. Just surrender. Surrender to the magic and trust. Have faith in the unknown. Breathe. Enjoy the moment. Peace and blessings. Shalom.